Before we get into today's episode, I just want to issue a trigger warning. This episode will have topics on bullying. So if you find that topic sensitive, I do not suggest listening to this episode. Okay, let's get into it. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Yane Live with me, Ndalo Chaga. Okay, so it's another Wednesday, and we're gonna have more people on the podcast today. Last week I had a very special friend of mine, Lissetti, on the pod. If you haven't heard that episode, go back, because it's an amazing episode. He's just such a mood, you know. He literally lights up my world. So yeah, and he mentioned something about like how I told him that, you know, I'm free to be because he was free to be, which is so true. Like I said in my story, Lissetti was honestly the first person who made me realize that I could be who I am without being ashamed. And that led into so many things. Like for me, I guess I went and tapped into my feminine side more after meeting Lissetti. Especially in grade 10, I started now wearing the best outfits to school on CV's day, and it's just, I love it. It's me, I'm comfortable, I'm happy, and that's all that matters. But you guys are not going to be hearing from me too much today, because today we have three amazing guests. We have Remo. She's amazing. I love her. Ever since I met her, she's just been an amazing human. Then there's Ora. Love his energy, love his vibe. His vibe. He's just another person. I just love the energy he carries. And our last guest is Molemo. I love his fits, his passion for fashion. Oh my gosh, that rhymes. And just, I love how he carries. Oh guys, I can't speak today. Damn. I love the way he carries himself as well. He's just a very amazing and all round good looking and good person, you know. So yeah, so the first person you guys are going to be hearing from is Molemo, and yeah, here's his story.
Happy Pride. Ooh, well, we're late, but you get the point. Happy Pride. Hi guys, my name is Molemo Manayane, and I've been asked to be on the podcast with Ndalo Tsaka. And he basically asked me if I could tell my story. So I actually don't know where to start. So basically, I've always had an attraction to males. But sometimes I had an attraction to females, but it was very rare. So I would tell her everything that happened in my life. Like, everything. So, basically, I would tell her everything, and we would have a conversation about it and everything. But she never asked me if I'm gay or what. And then when we were playing together, I would play with her dolls. And then it kind of became a problem for my mom. But not my dad. My dad was okay with it. But my mom really wasn't. And then I would have a lot of fights with my mom. Like I wouldn't talk to her for days. We wouldn't talk to each other. But yeah, basically I would play with dolls, and I was always very feminine, and I was always feminine looking, and I always had a feminine voice. Fast forward, I start school, and I only spent 2 years in that school. I never really had any problems in the school. I didn't have any there'd only be like a few comments, but like they didn't get to me. Up until I had to transfer to another school in Centurion, and obviously I was new, so I didn't have any friends, but I had made one friend, and we became friends because he didn't know English very well, so I had to speak to him in our mother language, which is Tswana and Sepedi. So, okay, I also had another friend that just decided to tag along with us, and it was just the three of us at the start. Obviously, we were playing tag and all that. Okay, fast forward to term 2, when I had to start socializing with other kids. I had people come to ask me if I was a girl, but it wasn't many people, it wasn't a lot of people. And then up until this girl transferred in the middle of the year, well, not in the middle, but like in term 2. And she was very masculine and I was very feminine, but we got along. And people would ask her if she's lesbian, and people would ask me if I'm gay. But it didn't get to us. Up until this one day, she came in this very feminine hairstyle, and people were like, okay, she's straight. She's not lesbian anymore. And she started making more friends. And then people started coming to me asking me if I was gay and stuff. But it didn't get to me up until this one day. These guys came to me and asked me to model for them. And I was like, what? And they were just like, just model for us. And then I walked, obviously I knew what they were doing, and I walked very masculine up until they forced me to like walk in a very feminine way, and I walked femininely, and they were like, no, you're gay, you can't be a boy but be so feminine, and like stuff like that. And then people would be like, oh, I thought you were a girl, but you just had a haircut and stuff. And yeah. And then I never got bullied about it for the rest of the year. Up until the next year, when like everybody was socializing. This is 4th grade, by the way, the next year. People start making jokes and calling me gay, and in life orientation, well, it was called life skills back then. In life skills, when they talk about homosexuality and homosexuals, people would look at me and give me snacks looks, and yeah. And then like people were just laughing at me, and it wasn't nice at all. And then, like, I got into a lot of fights because of that. But the fights went in school premises, so the teachers never attended to my behavior. Teachers always thought I was quiet and like very sweet, because I was very scared, and I didn't feel very smart, because this one day a kid made a comment like, I didn't know how to solve division, and then a kid was like, go back to grade 3, you dumb. And then from there on, I started like sitting back, and then I started going to aftercare, and that's when everything got worse. So on Fridays, they would play music, right? And this new song just dropped called Level Up, and it was a banger. So we were all dancing that specific day, and a teacher picked me out, and she put me on, it was like not a stage, but where they put the speakers, and like it had stairs and everybody could see. And I started dancing, like, I started dancing, and people were like, is he shaking his ass? And that's when the bullying got worse. They were like, you're shaking your ass, you should dance like a boy, and stuff. And people made a lot of comments, and it got to school, and it was just very bad. And yeah, okay. I knew I had always liked boys, but it wasn't like I like it was like, oh, I find him attractive, like he looks cute. And then up until I really knew, I was like, shit, I'm gay. So there was this boy, I am not gonna say his name. I think he follows me, I'm not sure, but I'm not gonna say his name. I was obsessed. I would always talk to him. I even played soccer for him. I played soccer. I started going to tournaments just to be in the same atmosphere with him. Yeah. That was... I never confronted him about it. I think he knew. But like, I stopped liking him when he had a girlfriend, and I saw him French kissing his girlfriend. So, yeah, that year was just a very bad year. Like, I got bullied a lot, and people made snacks comments, and yeah. But like, at the time, it got to me, but at the same time, it really didn't. Like, I was just defending myself. Up until, grade 5 goes smoothly. Well, obviously people make comments, but like, I was just calm. It's grade 6. So I got into a fight with this one kid, and his mother had just died. Like, she had just passed on. I think it was from a car accident. And she had just passed on. And he had made a comment, because like, we were coming back from school holidays, and like, the news of COVID started, but like, it didn't get to South Africa as yet. So I was walking into the class that we were supposed to be in aftercare, and he's like, you're making noise, you want to be a woman so bad. I'm like, what? And I had made a comment about his mother, and it didn't make sense, because I was like, your mother is also a woman. But he took offense to it. And then, sharp, I lost the fight. Because I actually lost every fight I was in. like, I don't know how to fight. I got bashed. Anyways, he had slapped me and kicked me, and I was just there standing there like trying to calm him down, because like I didn't mean to make a comment about his mother. He's just there kicking me, and they took me to the other office, and I basically explained the whole story and blah blah blah, and they asked me questions, are you gay? And I was like, no, I'm not, and stuff. Up until this is 6th grade, ne? Sharp. COVID comes, we come back to school. Life skills I hated that subject so bad because of the whole thing. Oh, guys, don't mind the sounds. I'm in the wardrobe because, like Ndalo said, it makes you sound better. So, yeah. So I'm just literally venting in here. Anyways, back to the story. Yes, life skills. So this one day, they're talking about homosexuals, and this teacher of us, he's like, I used to be a neighbor to Mohale. Mohale is Somizi's ex-husband. And he's like, he was such a young boy, and they actually invited me to the wedding. But I had said no because I felt uncomfortable. Everybody looked at me, and people were like, I don't like gay people. They make me so uncomfortable. And I just felt like crying, literally. And they were like, I don't like gay people. They make me so uncomfortable. They're so weird and so touchy and loud. And even my friends were making comments about this, and I just felt so betrayed. Like, I started not liking myself, and I started changing myself just to fit in. Okay, time goes by, people making comments, people are like, are you gay and stuff, as like they know what they're doing to make the class laugh. Okay, it's 7th grade. Oh, by the way, backtrack. So during the bullying, I once got pants down twice, but like the first time, it was like, it didn't get to me. The second time it got to me because these people saw my butt. But I pulled up my pants quickly, guys. So, yeah. So 7th grade, people start asking me, how do gay people have sex? And obviously I didn't know, and I was like, I don't know. And people were like, apparently you put your thingy inside the hole and stuff. And I was just so unfazed by it. And like, people would start having conversation about gay people and hating on them. Even the girlies saying they want a gay best friend were hating on us, guys. Anyways, okay, so back to the story. 7th grade, ne? This one day, I had snitched but not snitched. So this guy was falsely accused. And I felt so bad because they were about to call his parents. And I was like, I told the truth, and I blabbered my mouth, and I put myself in that situation. I was like, no, man, it was this guy who done it, and this guy is being false accused. I tell you, I was threatened. They were like, after school, this gay bitch. That's when I started crying, because like, he genuinely made fun of me, and he was like, I'm gonna beat up this gay bitch, blah 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 blah. And I had a breakdown in front of the whole class, and it was just like so ridiculous. And they were like, why are you crying? And I was like, no, these people have been bullying me for the past years, and I'm just so tired. Like, genuinely, this is so, like, it's just too much. I can't handle it. And this guy, I took out everything that day. This guy pins me down. This guy called me this. This guy made fun of me. And they were in one group. By that, okay. Also, at the same time, I was kind of like flirting with a guy. That we were friends. And like people knew. Well, only a few people knew. And I think he was busy with another girl. And the girl kind of got jealous. And she started like... She was nice to me, yes, but like she would make snacks comments there and there, and like, but I was flirting with this guy, like flirt playing, you know, like hitting each other and stuff, you know, you guys know, like, you know. Okay, where was I? Oh yes, when I was taking out everything. Okay, when I was taking out everything. Sharp, I'm telling everybody this guy done this. And these are all guys. I never mentioned the girls. Because, like, the girls never really made snacks comment. They always made me comfortable. But behind my back, I didn't know they made snacks comments. So Sharp, like, I had a breakdown that was so embarrassing. Like, genuinely, some people were laughing. Some people were comforting me. Some people were just watching and they say sorry, but like they were not engendering. Sharp, it's after school and I go to this teacher. I'm like, this guy, this one bully, I hated this guy. And the fact that he was so, let me not shame people on the podcast. I don't want to be cancelled. Anyways, I was about to rant about how much I didn't like him, but let me not. So yeah, basically he called the teacher and he was like, this boy is busy crying grade 7, ma'am. Please help him. And I was like, fuck. Like, why is he making so much trouble? I didn't want this to get to the teachers. But this time while I was crying, man, there were no teachers in the class. And we were a very chaotic class. That's how they make comments. Okay. He calls the teacher and then he's like, you can't be crying about old things in grade 7. And then they called another teacher and like she was comforting me. Like she was just so nice. But this other teacher, she's just making snacks comments and like she was like, you can't be crying in grade 7. You're preparing for high school, man. No, man. And then, yeah, the year carried on and it was like very quiet. I only had a few friends then there. And I just tried to stay out of people's business. And like, I became antisocial with other people. I didn't talk with some people because I was just so angry. And yeah. Okay, in grade 8. Okay, no. Last day, Liema... Okay, I was not really friends with Liema. We just knew each other and we knew that we applied to Proate, both of us. Liema tells me, she's like, next year you're gonna come out, right? And I'm like, no, I'm not gay. And she's like, girl, everybody knows it. You are. Just come out. And I was like, okay. And then, this is grade 8, orientation. I have nothing to say about orientation. In high school, nobody made snacks comments that got to me. So, I was like, I'm bisexual. Just to, in the fields. We're just in the fields. Up until later, I was like, I'm gay. No, let me just... And then I kind of told my mom. She wasn't angry about it. She was actually calm. And she told me about finding myself and gave me advice and blah, blah, blah. My dad was just neutral about it. He didn't talk about it, did nothing about it. I actually didn't tell my parents, but a situation happened where they found out. But yeah, let's not go there. Anyways, where was I? I was talking about telling them. Okay. Yeah, they were unfazed. They were like, they're still the same person and we love them. And then later in the year, I was like, I think I'm gay. I'm not bisexual. And then that's when I started liking feminine things. Like, I genuinely liked. I've always liked feminine things, but I never disclosed it. I just always it was secretive. I didn't tell anybody. And then a situation happened where me and my mom got into a fight because she didn't like how feminine I was, how I wanted to put on makeup and lip gloss and hair and crop tops. She felt like I was growing up too fast, and she just wanted me to stay the same. And she felt like I was being peer pressured, but I felt like she wasn't listening. I kept on telling her that, no, I'm not being peer pressured. This is what I like. And she still doesn't understand it, but she let it go. And she's not the biggest fan of me acting feminine with her. But then we talk about makeup and stuff, but she's not the biggest fan. And I think I've always just I have this kind of thing of with my parents, I am not very feminine and loud, and I'm just in between. But yeah, I feel like I'm still finding myself, because I felt like there are times where I genuinely don't wanna sometimes I don't wanna have a gender. Sometimes I prefer being called her. I genuinely don't know, and I'm still in the journey. But I think I'm gonna stay the same way I am right now, because I think I'm happy right now, and I don't wanna rush anything because I'm still busy with school and I have other things to focus on. So yeah, I think the only important thing is being healthy while still finding myself and not having there's a word that they call when you have a crisis, where you can't find yourself, but where you're trying to find yourself. But I think I'm okay right now. I'm just going wherever life goes. The only thing I have to say is, don't listen to the people who make snacks comments, because they have insecurities too. They really do, and they're putting it on you to make themselves feel better, or to attract attention to you and your behavior instead of themselves, because they know they're not okay. But I think you just need to stay calm. I still have struggles with staying calm when a person makes that comment. I'll come for them. I'll look at them and be like, I snap at them. But I don't think that's okay. I think I just need to learn how to keep my cool and ignore the comments. And also, I feel like, guys, be careful who you date, because I feel like the gay world is very toxic, especially with DLs. As Lisedi said, toxic toxic. You don't want to be a side piece. You don't want to be hidden, guys. You must flaunt, you know? Show off your relationship, guys. You know? And be with somebody who you know you can be okay with. At the same time, still have fun, guys. We are young. We can't be dealing with DLs. They cause too much depression. I will telling me not to tell anybody. I will. But anyways, bye guys. Happy Pride. I know I'm late, but you know, you get what I'm trying to do or say, you know? Bye.
Okay, so that was Molemo's story. And yeah, no, that one touched my heart. Molemo, thank you for sharing. Thank you so, so much. So now we're gonna hear from Remo. So yeah, hope you guys enjoy.
Hi, my lovies. Happy Pride. I hope you guys had a lovely one. I can most definitely say Ndala really enjoyed their time, yeah. My name is Remo. I go by she, her pronouns. My story, the crazy part about all of this is I never tell the story without getting emotional, and that's so wild. But I guess here we are. Okay, I'm gonna take it back a bit. When I was younger, I never really understood the concept of being lesbian, like the whole being gay, queer, all of that. I never really understood that. But I'm most definitely sure that my life has never been boys, and even though my friend group was boys, they like ran to the boys soccer field, and I'd be sitting there, like a little skep cell. I've never really found interest in boys, and the only reason I dated boys was because of the influence, and that's it. That's all there is to it. I knew from a very young age that I was attracted to girls more than I was to boys, but at the time it was not normal, air quotes. It was not normal. It was sort of bizarre, and hence that's why I was never really open to talk about it, or open to even talk about who and what I was attracted to and not. So I got to school, my friends had boyfriends, and it was lovely. I loved it for them, hey? I loved it for them. And then I got my first boyfriend, because my friends were like, if you don't get a boyfriend, you're not gonna be in our friend group anymore. And you'd do anything to be part of the popular girls, like you'd do anything. So I got my first boyfriend. I hated every bit of it, but then I thought maybe I'm the problem, maybe I am not doing it right. I got my second boyfriend, it was still the same, and I ended up coming to a conclusion that maybe I'm not supposed to date, maybe it's not gonna work for me. Okay, fast forward to high school. High school was so wild. The one thing I loved about high school is everyone was free. Everyone could proudly say, I'm queer, I'm non-binary, I am lesbian, I'm gay, I am bisexual. It was a thing. And that made me so happy, because at least one of us could do it, Someone has to do it. I got to grade 9. I was like, you know what? F this. I told my mom that I'm attracted to girls, and that's when our relationship started getting a bit tricky. Well, in my opinion, it started getting a bit tricky, and I was definitely not gonna change who I am for the benefit of other people. That's not who I am, you know. Um, I was like, you know what, it's okay, mom, we can drop this whole thing. Forget I said anything. Okay. Then at some point I got a girlfriend. And my mom met this girl by mistake, and it was a bit tricky. It was a bit snacks because the relationship between me and my mom got a bit tricky, and me and that girl broke up. You know, those first girls, man, those are the worst heartbreaks. Those are the worst. So there I was, heartbroken. My 15-year-old self was heartbroken. And you know how normally people would like, or people that I've met, they'd like date the same gender once, and once they get heartbroken, they end up going back to who they really are and stop experimenting. For me, that was kind of a very different thing, because in as heartbroken as I was, I thought that was the hill I was willing to die on, you know. That was that. At some point my dad came to my room and he was like, Remo, do you like girls? And this is my father, I don't know what to tell him. But I knew that I couldn't continue trying to protect their feelings over my own. So I was like, yes, Papa, I like girls. And he said the words that I've been longing to hear, the words that the only thing I wanted to hear at that time. My dad said, well, if this is who you are, then I'm gonna accept you and love you nonetheless. Doesn't change anything. I cried that day. I really cried. I cried not because I finally got to hear my dad saying he accepts me for who I am, but because he is the one person I was scared to tell the most, because I thought about the negative things he would say before finally accepting it. And I felt so dumb because this guy has always been my best friend. So been keeping yeah, he's always been my best friend, you know. I finally got over the whole family drama of me being lesbian and all. But no one talks about how your peers, the people that claim, oh my gosh, I'm so for this #pride, are the same people that sometimes are going to hate on you and judge you for who you are. For who you are. Because I had this friend. This friend was all about this lesbian, about this whole pride and queer thing. But the minute I got a girlfriend, she was the first one to judge me and tell me how this is a sin, how this is not going to be accepted. And it's okay. As I grew older, I realized that this does not only happen to me, but the people around me, because we do get comments like, you haven't met the right one, you need a better man in your life. And I don't know how many times I've gotten those comments, but I've learned to take it like a pro, if that makes sense. Telling the story is always such a blur because I have so much to say, but also so little, not time, but so little, I don't know what the word is, but telling the story is always such a blur. It's always such a blur because I don't know how many things I've skipped to be able to get to a point where I say, but essentially till now, I, till this day, I still have people, I mean family, that tell me, that expect umkhonyana, that expect me to get a husband, be a wife, be a makoti. And it makes me realize that in as much as we've accepted ourselves, and as much as we are happy with who we are, not everybody's going to be happy for us. Not everybody's going to love us the way we love each other. And that's okay. So my advice to all the baby queers, it's okay to be you. Not all our experiences are the same. Not everybody's going to accept, well, not everybody's going to expect you to be perfect. I don't believe in coming out because why do you need to sort of justify who you are? But when you do come out, do it at your own time. Do it at your own time, and it's okay. It's okay because not everybody is going to be for it, and most people are going to be against it. But it is who you are, so go big or go home, babe. Go big or go fucking home. Well, from yours truly, Lafia.
So that was Remo's story. Beautiful. I'm so sorry that it had to be such an emotional story for you. But regardless, thank you so much for sharing that with us, Remo. And then finally, we have Oratilwe. And so, yeah, I hope you guys enjoy his story.
Happy Pride Month, babes. Um, Before I get into the story, I'd just like to introduce myself. And yeah, my name is Oratilwe, and I'm a gay South African boy, period. My story is rather basic and nothing too extreme. So, like, essentially, toward like my grade 5 to grade 6, I was more in the denial side, and then in grade 7 I knew deep down that bitch, I'm gay as hell, but I didn't want people to know that. And obviously I got bullied a lot. And at first, I wouldn't say it didn't hurt, but it bothered me because I used to, you know, try to fit in. I cut off all my girlfriends and I started to hang out more with boys, just to fit in. And I also, like, y'all can judge me for this, but like, I catfished online and I lied about my age, my sexuality, and everything simply so I didn't have to endure that from other people other than people at my school. So I told them I'm 17, I'm super hella straight, and my voice was rather squeaky. Maybe that's why people like literally thought I was a female because of my voice and my skinniness. So yeah, and whenever they call, I literally had to take a spoon and I put it over my neck and speak in this huge voice and say, "Hey y'all, what's up? This is me." And it didn't work, but yeah. And essentially, when I reached grade 8, I was like, bitch, I had enough of this, but I wasn't yet comfortable with who I am. And for the first year of grade 8, for the first two terms of grade 8, I told everyone that like I'm I'm straight. Like I'm straight, even though I acted super hella fruity, super hella zesty, and I still told people that like I was straight. Whenever people call me gay or stuff, I tell the disciplinary officials that 123 is calling me gay and stuff. And yeah, and towards term 3 and 4, I had a crush on this boy. I won't say names for obvious reasons, but I had a crush on this boy. And when I told my friends in other grades, they'd be like, "But aren't you straight?" And basically, I just told them that no, I'm bisexual. I used the bi identity as like a way to, you know, I use being bi as a way of denial that, like, bitch, I'm super hella gay. Until that December when I was like, but bitch, this is not me. I want to dress like this. I want to act like this. I want to be who I am. And I had enough. I came out. I told everyone, I'm like, bitch, this is me. And if y'all don't accept me, then that's your problem. But y'all bitches ain't gonna fuck with me, period. And yeah, grade 9 this year. Grade 9 this year, I'm embracing me like how I should have since the beginning. And yeah. Oh, and regarding my coming out story, I came out to my mom in like early mid grade 8 because she saw me with eyeliner and she's like, "What the fuck are you doing home?" And yeah, I told her that, "Mom, I'm gay," and she was acceptive. She thought I was one of the low key mass gays that like I'm still her baby boy. Is I'm just the fact that I'm just gonna get married to a man. That's all. And up until we went to H&M and I told her I wanted heels because there was a pride event the next Saturday and I wanted heels because I didn't want to go like a straight man. And she basically flipped and told my dad. And I told her specifically not to tell my dad because, you know, black males are just so yeah. And she told my dad, and naturally, as you would assume, he wasn't acceptive. And to this day, he's not acceptive. He's just acceptive of the fact that I'm his son, and like he can't change that. So yeah, he basically told me that the reason for my gayness is the fact that he wasn't a father. Like he was here, but he was a stranger, and like also the fact that you know I hang around girls more often, and like I should be like my brothers and disassociate from girls, hang out more with boys, go hang out, kiss more ladies, whatnot, whatnot. And he said, and I quote, "We're going to church and we're gonna pray the gay out of you." And I walked out of I walked out on him and I told him, if you can't accept me, then you're better off out of my life. And yeah, I didn't speak to them for like the next 2 weeks until he eventually sat me down and said like, look, I'm sorry for not being there, not being supportive, and if there's any chance that we could like, mend things, I'd be happy to, right? And I told him I'll think about it, right? I'll think about it. And right now he is more of a father than he was in the past, and he has been accepted that I wear makeup, I wear crop tops, I wear heels, I wear whatever I want to wear. I am not limited to one specific category of clothes and gender identity. And yeah, not necessarily like my coming out story was more forced than I intended it to, but it worked out in the end. And my advice to all you closeted kids, all you, everyone that wants, anyone and everyone who wants to tell or speak up about their truth is, you're not rushed to tell anyone. If you don't want to, you don't have to, you don't owe anyone anything when it comes to who you are as a person and who you choose to be, right? If you feel like now isn't a good time for you to come out, right now isn't a good time for you to speak your truth, then that's all on you. No one is forcing you and no one is pressurizing you to. But I will say the one of the worst things you can do to yourself is deny who you are and basically basically rob yourself of what you can and should be, if that makes sense. And yeah, and I hope genuinely from the bottom of my heart that you all find your truth and live the life that you were destined to live. Period.
Thank you, Oratilwe. And with that being said, we have reached the end of today's episode. It's been a long one, hey? I think it's definitely the longest episode I've had comparing to like all my other episodes. But I'm rambling now. But like, yeah. So yeah. So I guess same time, same place next week with more guests, more stories, and yeah, I will see you guys next week. Have an amazing week. I love you guys all. Mwah.